this fucking movie. Ice Age to Meltdown. Now I'm reviewing the sequels. So this one came out in 2006, which starred, the same actors from the first movie. Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, John Leguizamo. Reprising their roles as these animals from the Ice Age, which movie is called The Ice Age. This is the sequel to Meltdown, which probably didn't give me a meltdown. How fucking stupid it is. I mean, the plot did have potential, but the way they did it failed in a not so good way. Which, I mean, yeah, you failed should mean in a bad way. So, yeah. Alright, let's get this over with and just review this movie. Okay. So, Ice Age and Meltdown, you know how it starts off. Just like the first movie with Scrat. Scrat is trying to get, acorn once again, and now the ice starts melting, and he's trying to plug up the holes, but the ice water blows his fucking ass away, and there goes acorn again. He falls down, and this fat hippo, whatever the hell animal it is, pushes his ass down, and all these animals are having a good time in the water, enjoying it, and they're like, oh, it's really hot, and all that, everything's melting, and they're having a good time, and then Sid pops up, and he's messing around with these kids, and he's trying to start a camp with these animal children. Then Manny and Diego showed up and told his ass, you can't run no freaking camp because you're too stupid and whatnot. So, Sid got upset about it, he walks away, and they try to call him back because they don't have time to be dealing with children. So, Diego and Manny figure out a way to story tell these fucking kids about a rabbit. And then these kids start laughing when fucking Manny starts saying ass. They start laughing about it. I mean, this whole beginning is pretty boring, to be fair. Fucking Sid started camp with these fucking animal children, and fucking these two try to sell a story to these fucking snot-nosed kids about rabbits and a family, and then this kid shits on Manny because he doesn't have a mammoth family. And that's the big plot of the story, is that Manny does not have a family. Everyone thinks his family's extinct. He's like the only mammoth left, and all that other bullshit. And that's making a big story about it because what happens later on. The whole love interest crap. We're gonna get to that soon. So all of a sudden, this fucking, some con artist guy named Tony or something, started talking to all the animals, and say, oh, it's going to be a crazy meltdown is going to happen, the sky is going to be the big flood and all that. Then fucking Manny comes by telling me he's bullshitting and stuff like that. And then they saw Sid's retarded ass on top trying to go for a jump down the waterfall or something. And Manny's like, oh, is that not our idiot up there? Which it is. He's fucking some stupid shit. So let's go up there and get his stupid ass. So fucking Manny grabs him and sends him back flying because I guess the ice make him slip by and hit fucking Diego went flying. The ice starts cracking, and he jumps as fast as he can, and Diego get away from the water because he's part of the cat family, and cats hate water. So he jumps on Manny, and Manny's like, you get your fingernails out of my face or something. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. And Sid makes fun of him, and fucking Diego grabs him by the throat, fucking beat his ass, kill him. So fucking pushover. Like rips Sid and fucking shreds and eat for dinner. Actually no, he can't eat him for dinner because Manny told him before in the first movie that he didn't know where he's been at. So yeah, I remember that. I forgot to mention that part in the first movie review. Then all of a sudden now Manny believes that it's going to be a crazy flood going to happen. So he goes down there to tell everybody. They're like, well, why should we believe you? You're the one that said that it's not going to happen anyways. Because he believes what Tony says and all that. Yeah, that whole con artist guy. this fucking eagle shows up. You're like, saying all this fucking like spooky shit. Oh, he is telling the truth with the flood and all that. It's gonna be a giant flood. It's gonna be the size of this and that. But the good thing is, I can eat all of you when it gets flooded. The flyby eat all of you. And now I got scared because of that. They're like, oh, we gotta get out of here. So now another adventure awaits. Yeah, get the way out of there. So now, then like one of them fucking left their children back at the fucking land or where they're leaving from, and he's like playing around in the water or something. All of a sudden, fucking I forgot, turtle buddy scares one of the kids, and then his ass gets eaten by one of those fish, underwater fish things or something. And then the con artist guy trying to look for it. Hey, where do you go, buddy? Oh, look, mobile home. We can sell this for a mobile home. He sells turtles shell for a mobile home. Oh yeah, that's what Manny saw. He saw those two fish guys in the frozen thing, or frozen ice sculpture thing. And he's like, he's trying to look at it. And fucking Diego's like telling him, come on, we gotta go, man. We gotta get out of here. So he started going anyways. He didn't get a chance to look at the fucking ice thing and show the two fish monsters in there, and they fucking show their eyes like looking at the camera. So now later on, like I said, they're traveling around, and said Manny thought he heard some mammoths. He's extinct, yeah, right. So he starts charging, looking for them with fucking Sid on his back, and fucking Diego follows them. Turns out it was nothing, and he gets sad. He said he needed time to himself, but it did feel bad for the big mammoth. It is hard being lonely. So now all of a sudden, Sid and Diego had to deal with these fucking opossums jumping out of the fucking, shooting fucking pebbles at them or something. And he could play whack-a-mole with the motherfuckers on the ground trying to beat their ass, and they failed. And Diego's like, if anyone asks, just tell we're dealing with rattlesnakes. Then fucking Manny meets another mammoth. Oh boy, here we go. This is where it starts off. It's 25 minutes in, this is where Ellie comes in. She was hanging off of a fucking tree, and she started talking to Manny, and she doesn't think she's a mammoth because she thinks all mammoths extinct. You know, she is a mammoth, and she doesn't know that. She thinks she's a possum. Yes, that's right. That's right. She does not know that she's a mammoth, and she's delusional. That's the whole part of the whole story of this whole movie. That's the half part of the movie, besides the whole flood throughout the whole fucking land, but we got that to worry about also. About this mammoth bitch that doesn't even know she's a mammoth. She thinks she's a possum like her so-called quote-unquote brothers. Which not even her fucking brothers, because they're goddamn opossums. And fucking Manny makes a joke about it. So, well, he's actually a platypus. If he's that, I'm that. And then Sid got mad. Well, why can't he be the platypus? Why I gotta be a platypus? Like, well, why? Like, that's really. I don't really give a shit about this Ellie character voiced by Queen Latifah. Like, I don't care. Maybe her voice only she fits with her voice. I don't think her voice even fits the character. It sounds very off to me. I just don't see it to me. I don't know. I just don't like this movie. It's just this is so pointless. I don't really like this movie. It's so stupid. Like, it should be more focused on the freaking on the fucking flood instead of freaking Ellie, because it's just we keep telling this stupid background story about her life and stuff, like what happened and whatnot. Like I really give two fucks about her fucking story. Just this fucking this mammoth who thinks she's a fucking possum. She's hanging on trees and stuff. I don't know how mammoths can hang on trees. You know, they're big as fuck. Weigh like over like a fucking 10,000 pounds or something. She's hanging out of a goddamn tree. Shouldn't a tree just break right away if she's hanging on that fucking thing? That's very unrealistic, because mammals are gigantic. Like, Christ. I don't want to keep going in this movie, especially those stupid opossums. They're a pain in the ass. Like, one is voiced by Josh Peck, and the other one is voiced by, I think, who's the other one voiced by? Like, yeah, one of them was it Josh Peck? Hang on a second. Alright, time to go look up on Wikipedia again, like I always do, every goddamn time. Okay, so the opossums are voiced by, yeah, Sean William Scott and Josh Peck. Sean William Scott and Josh Peck. What the hell is, what's Stifler voicing one of the opossums? What's Josh doing here? How much money to pay for those guys? That seem like big names right there. Sean William Scott and Josh Peck. Might as well just got Drake Bell and Josh Peck. You want to do something like that? Sean William Scott's like a lot of money. Because the budget right here is at least $80 million, and the box office made like $660 million, basically. So I guess they made a lot of money, even though I still don't like this fucking movie. Fast Tony is voiced by Jay Leno. Just realized that. Jay fucking Leno. He may be a good talk show host, but I heard he's pretty much a fucking douchebag in real life. So he's out there with fucking what's his other guy, Alec Baldwin. So that's something right there. Then fucking Ellie keeps doing this weird shit. She keeps hiding behind trees, even though she's a giant fucking animal. And fucking the opossums keep hiding in bushes and stuff. And, you know, they understand if you had a giant flood and it's gonna fucking wipe the fuck out of everybody and kill everybody. Don't they understand that? They're all gonna get fucking wiped the fuck out, or like doing retarded shit like that. It's the smartest thing ever. But a giant flood is gonna happen. See, I'm starting to have a meltdown right now. That's how stupid this movie is. Oh my. Even though it was Sid's idea to just bring them along, because he was saying that you and her are the only two men exist in this world. Man, you should bring her around with you. Oh yeah, let's bring a fucking idiot with us. This is the stupidest shit. It just makes no sense. You gotta be a great idiot to bring her. You know, you can find another mammoth to hang with. It's not her, right? Who she thinks she's a fucking opossum. So yeah, she was having this fucking flashback, and this, I don't know, it was the winter, she was a baby, and she hides under this tree full of snow, and she meets two fucking possum brothers with the mother, and that's how she thought she was a fucking opossum. She went under that tree talking to fucking Manny about it, because, you know, romance crap. Before that, fucking Sid was talking to fucking Manny about, I know you want her and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't. Well, why do you keep talking to her about she's a man with you? Oh yeah, because she is a mama. Oh, that other bullshit. And telling him, well, why I just help her brothers, or her brothers out go fly in the air. Because one of them asked him, can you send me flying or something? And he said no at first, and that's when he changed his mind, I guess he said. So he decided to send his ass flying, and he's like, I believe I can fly. And he hits a tree, and he was knocked out for a while, which his other brother thought he was dead. He thought crashed. The funny thing is, I made a joke. He said, well, I guess crashed. Get it? They didn't even make that joke in the movie. I was like, oh, okay, no cheesy puns, I guess. That's something you'll see in the movies at all. That's pretty rare. I was like, I'll wait for that joke. I guess crashed. Well, that didn't happen. No joke like that. Then he went on this rock or something, and they kept moving around. They almost fell off of it, and they had to grab onto each other. Then this other scene with these fucking vultures singing about they want to eat them or something like that, about wonderful food song. Then Sid decides to repeat it after they left, and they tell us that to stop. But he just said it was catchy. And all of a sudden, these other sloths think Sid is a fire king or something, and they worship him like he's a fire king god. And they try to sacrifice him in a fucking fire, a volcano or something to stop the flood. Sid got out of it. And no one believed him until later on. They saw the worshippers. Well, it's his race, to be fair. It's his fucking sloth race. Big ass fucking giant ass Google eyes. But they all thought he was dreaming about it, so they found out the truth at the end. Then later on in the fucking Ellie and fucking Manny get in a fight about where to stay. And she was like, I don't want to stay there and get blown up by a geyser or something like that, because all the animals want to hide at a geyser. And the thing was like, one of them gets smoked, dodo bird, which, you know, the first movie how dumb as fuck they are. I mean, they're called dodo birds for a reason. And he turns to a fucking Thanksgiving dinner. So now she gets butthurt at getting mad at him because she don't want to stay at a geyser. She's scared she might get blown up or something. So she might go back to a place that everyone gets fucking flooded. Yeah, that's smart. That's really smart. So she goes back, and now they gotta go back and look for her ass while she's trapped in a rock, because that's what the brothers told them. So fucking Manny, I guess, they can pull her out, but then one of those fishes drag his ass on the water, and he had to fight him off, but the other guys help him. Then now fucking Diego's not afraid to swim in the water, blah blah blah. Then the meltdown stopped. The flood is ended, and it goes back to normal. To be fair, I thought this whole movie was pretty boring. I didn't really find that much things to be that funny about this whole movie. I got like some chuckles at me, besides, you know, Sid acting a goofball. But he always acting a goofball. He never disappoints. It's Sid. He's supposed to be retarded. It's just this whole movie is just pointless. Like this does not need a sequel. I mean, like I said, this movie did have potential. It's just that the ideas wasn't that good like the first movie did. The stories, the gags, it wasn't interesting like the first movie. The Scrat's Adventure thing wasn't that good either. I didn't really like Scrat's Adventures that much in this one. The first one did it way better. You know, I did play Ice Age and Meltdown video game when I was a kid. And most of the time you play Scrat. And I didn't mind it, even though I didn't beat it because I accidentally deleted the memory card game when I was a kid, so didn't really finish it. I got like halfway through it, and I accidentally deleted the game by mistake, deleted the memory card. So then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all these mammoths started showing up. They started walking down the fucking, land. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, now all of a sudden, now they show up. The flood is over. Like, that makes no sense. Now they start showing up. Like, what? Okay. Besides that, Sid's fucking worshippers show back up, and they said that they're actually happy because they know that they think Sid stopped the whole flood thing. So now. And then fucking Diego has to like talk to them and say that like Sid belongs to our tribe. He doesn't have time for, you know, be around you guys or whatever he said or something like that. He was like, oh really, you mean that, Diego? You give him a hug. And I didn't mean ask for 8 hugs. Then they start hugging the worshippers, and the other guys, Manny, Ellie, and fucking Possum see it, and they're like, oh okay, he wasn't bullshit about it. But as I said, I did not like this movie. I did not. Like, I didn't really find anything that funny about this movie like the first one. The story wasn't that interesting like the first one. Like, everything's like a downgrade from the first movie. I didn't really like Ellie that much either, to be fair. I don't hate her, it's just that her character is just a pain in the ass. Like she understands. Oh yeah, but let's just go back to a place that had a gigantic flood that killed everybody. Let's just go back. Oh yeah, that's a smart thing to do. If she gets trapped in a rock, and she's got a fucking maniac and come and save her. Like for fuck's sake. And she thinks she's a fucking possum hiding behind trees. You know, she's a fucking giant mammoth. But she doesn't even know that. She can't tell the difference between a possum and a mammoth. Like, she can't just look in the water and just see her face and put the fucking stupid so-called brothers and show her their faces in the water. You'll see the difference. I guess that won't work either, I guess. Yeah, I didn't really like the brothers that much either, to be fair. They're kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, they weren't bad, but I don't know. This whole movie's pointless. They had to make some romantic crap between these characters all the time. They always have some love interest. But it gets worse. Like the other movies, it gets worse. They still get like fucking love interest for these characters, especially the fourth and fifth one, which, like I said, I never knew the fifth one even existed because it was very forgettable. Let's see here. The third highest grossing film was 2006. It's the highest grossing anime film of 2006. Really? Originally, this film was set for a November 2005 release, but was moved to March 2006 due to the events of Hurricane Katrina and due to Robots being released earlier that year. Oh yeah, Robots. I didn't really like that movie. I was not really a big fan of that film that much. I thought it was pretty bland. The third computer anime film to become a franchise after Toy Story and Shrek, which is so you become a franchise. The flashback in the movie was originally going to focus on Manny's conflict with his first family. However, Queen Latifah pitched the idea of the flashback until to center more on Ellie's origins. Fucking Queen Latifah. You think I really care about Ellie? Animation took relatively speedy 8 months. Oh, okay. The two sea reptiles that chase the herd throughout the film are named Cracius and Maelstrom. Cracius is a purple crocodilian, while Maelstrom is a stout green reptile. There are initially going to be a third predator who appear in early design, a small light creature, but it was cut out. The backstory of the pavilion, they're frozen millions of years ago, kept suspended movement. The third one should be like a really giant one or something, like a really big one, like Jaws or something. Some of the scrap sequences, the fight with a piranha, the encounter with a baby bird, which is conceived for the original sequence of this film, but was cut for time. Yeah, I remember the piranha thing. I remember. I think it's the third one. I think I remember. I don't think I remember in this movie. I think it was this movie. I forgot. That's all I really care about this movie. The second Blue Sky studio film did not feature any humans after robots. What's the point anyway? J Bell's second Blue Sky studio film, the first being Robots. So he did Robots also? I forgot. I didn't watch the movie a long time, so I don't really know much about it. The only Ice Age 2 did not be released in July. So what? The lone gunslinger Vulture is the second character in Blue Sky studio film to be a hidden villain. The first film have a character, something to do like is robots with Ratchet. That means the lone gunslinger Vulture is a secret antagonist. Why the fuck would I care? Yeah, like I said, I did not like this movie. Like, crying out loud, he could have did something better with this. Half of it was pretty bland. It was like, I didn't like the story that much. The jokes wasn't. I like some jokes. I got some chuckles out of me. It just did not feel how the first one was like. Like I got one part where like Sid couldn't stop singing and like Manny's like, Sid, I'm gonna follow you this time. This time I will kill you. Like that shit was funny as fuck. Like that shit made me laugh though. Like I don't know. It should have been just this one and done. It shouldn't have been just Ice Age 2002. It should have been no the Meltdown or Dawn of the Dinosaurs or fucking Continental Drift or what's the other one? Fucking Collision Course. There's like 5 of them. I thought there's only like 3. It's really there's 5. Like, come on.